It's proliferating, it's happening just as much as the technology is developing. People are developing use forms that are just wrong. But there are also tools to combat these type of behaviors, applications that you can download to monitor this kind of content and block it as it comes. Ways to block aggressive users. Like in Twitter's accounts, people come up and do aggressive acts and then the system takes them down. Facebook the same, things that you can actually employ yourself as a user. So it's again a good technology that can be used for a good reason or a bad reason. Well, it is really a matter of opinion rather than a scientific fact that by making pornography abundantly available the way it is today, you can cause conditions like premature sexualization for children. Premature sexualization can cause damage to the prefrontal lobe and can cause problems, clinical problems that are actually has to be dealt with. It becomes a question of, if you are exposed to violence, are you likely to deal again in the same currency that you received, or are you going to learn and avoid it? But certainly, increase of sexual violence in social media is just a sign. Is just a sign of being another medium of existence. That people behave in the way they behave every day. If that's their common behavior in a normal social, physical life, and they have a virtual medium, they're likely to behave in a similar way. Absolutely, because you can have a perpetrator that masks themselves as an equal person in age or in social standing when they're in fact an adult. You can have a person that masks themselves who happens to be a sexual offender, and they're using anonymous name to reach to people. So indeed, some of this business of hiding your identity and participating is actually something that is not good to use. So it goes back to the education of the parents. Explain the use of these tools, and explain that if you have a person that doesn't have a picture and the information is inconsistent, that you don't interact with this person, and so forth, as a method to prevent it for children, for example. You can detect the people who are actually being exposed to sexual violence and the risk, and you can identify perpetrators or people or aggressors depending on how you codify the tools and you direct them. The victims, they use a certain language, they have certain intonation, they have certain syntax that they use, and we're able to use tools to actually codify a pattern of that. And then by codifying a pattern of that, then you're able to say, I think this person has been exposed to the risk with a certain level of certainty.